So here we're working on a design where we already have the air conditioning air handlers in place, and two of the dehumidifiers are in place, but they're not shown on this sketch. Sitting, say, over, if this is the front where the door is inlet, we have a dehumidifier in this corner. We have a dehumidifier in this far corner. We're about to add a third one somewhere. It will be either here or here. Eventually, the heat recovery system will be hooked up to this to capture the waste heat, turn it into water, put a water coil in front of an air handler to turn an air handler into a dehumidifier. In future buildings or future rooms, that will simplify the system and get rid of all this heavy duty construction, because you have the added weight on top of a room or hanging in a room. Right now we're actually working on the air delivery system. So this will have a HEPA filter, just kind of like in a medical facility. These will actually, we're looking at a unit, two designs, one a cheaper one and one a turnkey put in place will probably be the best option, because we could get it done right now. Just drop it in place and add ducting, where it'll have the motor inside. It'll have two pre-filters inside. You could add carbon if you wanted to. It has a true HEPA filter inside, capable of delivering up to 2000 CFM on a VFD, so you can turn it down to wherever you want it to. It'll force into this side of the room over here into the two ducts delivering to the air handlers. So you'll have fresh HEPA filtered air split up between two ducts on both sides of the room, flushing through the system from the far side, and this will be a passive exit. And to get rid of any smell or anything like that, these are two large carbon filters that are in here that are roughly, I think, 140 or 160 pounds a piece, and they're huge. And so passively, by the room being pressurized, and the room is always positive pressurized a little bit, passively the air will be coming out onto the roof. A very, very simple design. Well, it has to be repeated on many other rooms. And here's kind of the layout of the room without anything added on top. And here's the breakdown of our actual ducting for our filter systems, going into the air handler and out. And actually this is like 7 feet long, 5 feet wide, and this is all MERV 16 filters, 5-inch deep pleated with carbon in each one of these right here, delivering to the air handlers. And that has been our delivery system, of course. And here's our 20-ton systems right here. And as I turn it around, let's get a top view. Okay, so that's a top view. If you were looking down from the sky through the roof, that's what it looks like. And when you look at it from right about here, so there's the door right there. And so you get a kind of an idea of what we've slowly been building up to. This is already in operation. You've seen some of my further back videos on this. We have several more things. Our climate control system, CO2 control. Actually, I want to do a air down to, you know, micron parts per million particle counter, before and after filters, and pressure monitors before and after filters, and room pressure. The room has to always stay positive pressure all the time. And yeah, they're always work in progress. You never stop, and you're always building on your ideas. And as you can see, these are structural support beams that were added in, and actually later on two more were added in right here. So you have one here and one here. These are 6-inch beams coming up and 6-inch beams going across. And because every air handler is like roughly 200 and some pounds a piece, and then dehumidifiers are several hundred pounds on top of that, so you got quite a bit of weight on this freezer box. And that's like a 12 or 15-inch ceiling of foam. So this is a real freezer unit box. It's completely sealed. Well, not completely. They didn't seal it. when they put the panels together, they are not sealed, so it's very leaky. Something they got to work on after the fact. Something when they do their next one, they'll fix that problem. Yeah, that was a little work in itself, getting the iron workers in there to build that up. Because as soon as you start cutting through these foam panels like this, any of you commercial guys who do commercial refrigeration and do freezer box buildups, you'll notice how big we're 7 feet across. So how many of those platforms did we cut through, and you lose all your structural support when you cut in this direction. We cut through roughly 2.5 or 3 sections that are basically the only thing that holds the roof up. So when we cut these out, the whole roof became very weak, and that's why these structural supports had to go up. And that's about it that I can think about now. I'll show you one later on, the way the dehumidifiers were hooked up. And this is all my son's work. He's better and faster at everything like this than me, so leave it to somebody who is much smarter than me at this stuff and much quicker. Plus he plays video games, that's why. See you guys.